greater than or equal to 14. So I need to make sure whatever my question is matches that. So my variable should be going with 2. Whatever the question is should match. Okay, so 2 should belong somewhere and it should have the same wording as whatever my question is. This sign, so greater than or equal to, so whatever story they give me, it needs to be more than or the same as 14. More than or the same as 14. So F says a fence is in the shape of an isosceles triangle. So remember, a triangle has 3 sides. Isosceles means that 2 sides are the same, 1 side is different. So I'm going to put a 2 up here. The fence is at least 14 yards long. At least. So that means it has to be the same as or more than 14. So far that matches. The length of the unequal side of the triangle is 4 yards. So that could possibly be that third side. What is the length of each equal side? So I've got 2 sides I don't know the length of, and it's asking me what the length is. So far that looks right. I'm going to put a check. G, there are 2 pencil boxes in a desk drawer. There are also 4 loose pencils in the drawer. The total number of pencils in the drawer is more than 14. So more than 14 would look like that, not like that. So how many pencils are in each pencil box? Everything works out except for that sign. Okay, so that can't work. Then 3 teams were formed with 14 students. Team 1 has 4 students. Teams 2 and 3 have the same number of students. How many students are there in teams 2 and 3? So team 1 has 4 plus 2 and 3, they have the same number, and that's what we don't know. So 2 teams that we don't know. But they were formed with 14 students. So there's no greater than or equal to. It's looking to me like they would want an equal sign in there. So the inequality sign doesn't match either. And then J, Shayla is older than 14 years old. Older, so more than 14. Her brother Tom is 4 years old. She also has twin sisters, Diana and Brianna. How old is each of the twin sisters? So that one, same thing. Everything works except for that sign. Number 7, the model below represents an equation. What value of x makes the equation true? So remember we did these in class and we talked about how the top is your left side, the bottom is your right side, and the middle line is like your equal sign. So if I wanted to write that out, I would put 21 equals, and I've got 2 x's, so I'm going to put 2x plus, since it's positive, 9.4. And since I kind of want my variable on this side, I'm just going to flip-flop these around. And I'm going to do it down here. So 2x plus 9.4 equals 21. So I've got my variable, number, and a number. Can't move this, can't move this, gotta move this. Since it's positive in the problem, I'm going to do the opposite to get rid of it. Minus 9.4. Remember, add a decimal so you can line those decimals up. 11, 10, 10 minus 4 is 6, 10 minus 9 is 1, 1, so I have 11.6. And then I'm going to bring down 2x. So then my last step, since this is multiplying, I'm going to divide. 11.6 divided by 2. 2 goes into 11 5 times. I'm going to bring that decimal up before I forget. 1, 2 goes into 16 8 times. So 5.8. Number 8, just move the whole table. Number 8, an equation is shown below. I've got 2 minus 3x equals 8. So a couple things I can do. I can go ahead and solve it. So if I subtract 2, that cancels out. 8 minus 2 is 6. bring that whole variable down. So negative 3x. And we can divide by negative 3. So x should equal negative 2. That's great. But I have two answer choices that are negative 2. So I'm going to get rid of that. Anytime you see not here, be suspicious. That's typically not the answer. So it's got to be one of these. So when I look at G, that I need to see if this model matches that equation. So on G, it says that these long white ones are x's, are variables. These would be a negative variable, positive ones, and negative ones. So in G, they gave me just one x. So, but is that what I had in my problem? No, I had 3 x's, and they were negatives. So it can't be G, so just to check, I've got 1, 2, 3 x's here, and they're negatives. Negative 3x, negative 3x, 2 positives, so plus 2, and over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the exact same problem. I know it doesn't look the same, but if I wrote 2 minus 3x, that's the same. Negatives in front of the 3, the 2 is positive. 8 should be your answer. Number 9, the school librarian has a budget of $7.15. Remember we talked about budget, you cannot spend more than that. You can spend less than or the same as, but you cannot spend more than that. She orders from a company that charges $8 per book plus a $75 shipping fee. The librarian uses the inequality below where B represents the number of books ordered to determine if she has enough money to place an order for a specific number of books. So she's going to say 8B plus 75, the fee for your whole shipping order is less than or equal to $7.15. The librarian already had a list of 50 books she wanted to order and planned to add more to her final order. Will the librarian have enough money to add 45 more books to her final order? So she's making one order, okay? So she has a list of 50 that she wants to order, but she's gonna add more before she orders them. Add 45. So how many books total does she want? 95. So she wants 95 books. So from that, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of A because she's not just ordering 50, she's ordering 95. B has 95, so I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna look at anything else. C has 45. That's not the total amount she wanted. And D, the problem with D is that it's charging a shipping fee. They're saying that she has to pay a shipping fee twice. She's not doing 2 separate orders. She's doing one final order, okay? So she's not gonna order 50 and then make another order of 45. She's total gonna add 45 to her 50, making it 95. So really just off of that, the total number of books, I could stop there. But if you wanted to, you could check that too. If you wanted to double check your answer, 95 times 8, 40, 72, 73, 45, 76, plus 75. And so that's true, that wouldn't work because 835 is more than 715. But really you didn't even have to get to that step. B was the only one that had the right total. Number 10, which equation is true and the value of x is negative 8. And we changed that problem to be, we changed our answer choices. So this was actually 2x plus 17 equals positive 1, sorry, not negative. And h, we changed that to be negative 2x minus 6 equals negative 22. So you can plug in if x is negative 8. So if I plug in negative 8, anywhere I see x, and we want to see if that's true. So 2 times negative 8 would be negative 16 plus 17 equals 1. Is that what F says? Yep. So I'm going to put a check. Just to check, we'll check G. So 3 times negative 8 plus 20. So 3 times negative 8 would be negative 24. Plus 20 would be negative 4. So is negative 4 equal to 44? Nope. Then let's see. Negative 2 times negative 8 minus 6 equals negative 22. Negative 2 times negative 8 is a positive 16. Minus 6 would give me 10. Is that equal to negative 22? Nope. And the last one, negative 2, plug in negative 8 plus 11. Negative 2 times negative 8 would be positive 16 plus 11. So is 27 equal to negative 5? Nope. And the last one, everybody hates this one. Okay, the diagram of angle 1, angle 2, and angle 3 is shown below. If the measure of angle 3 is 155 degrees, I'm going to go ahead and put that down, 155. Which equation can be used to determine x, the measure of angle 1? So this is what we don't know. Okay, so we did this a couple times in class. I don't know what this angle is, but I know what this angle is. Unfortunately, these don't go together. So I'm gonna have to do a couple different steps to get there. First, I've got to figure out what angle 2 is. And to do that, we have to add angle 2 and angle 3 together because those two are gonna make 180. Ignore angle 1 right now. Angle 2 and angle 3 are on a straight line, which means they're supplementary, which means they add up to be 180. Okay? So I'm looking for angle 2. They told me angle 3 was 155. And so I'm going to solve like I would solve a one-step equation and subtract 155 from 180. Okay, so that gives me 25 degrees. So angle 2 now I know is 25. So from there, I'm done with angle 3. That was my first step. Good, got it, I'm done with that. So the second thing I want to do is I'm going to have to solve for x using that second angle. So now I'm going to ignore angle 3 and look at the angle that 2 and 1 together make. It's a right angle, it's a complementary angle, which means that they add up to be 90 degrees. So angle 1 plus angle 2 is going to end up being 90 degrees. Angle 1 is what I'm looking for. Angle 2 is 25. And together they'll make 90. So if you were going to solve for that problem, for that angle, 65 degrees. Okay, that's great. I didn't really have to find the answer. It wants to know the steps I took to get there. So we want to see what we can eliminate. A says 180 minus 155 to find angle 1. So I have to go retrace my steps and figure out what did I do. My first step I subtracted 155 from 180. But then I had a whole second step I had to do. So A doesn't include everything I needed. On B, it says we added 155 plus 90. Did we add it all? No. Plus, if you add 155 plus 90, you get 245. Is there any way on earth that that angle is 245 degrees? No way, Jose. Because that's the only one we're looking for, that little tiny acute angle. C says we subtracted whatever we got here, so 180 minus 155, which was our first step, and then we subtracted that from 90. Isn't that what we did? We had to keep subtracting, so that works. D says 180 minus 155, which is what we did, and then add 90. Did we add 90 to that? No. And if I did do that, that would mean that angle 1 is 115. That angle is not bigger than 90 degrees. So that would not make any sense.